Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to show you today how easy it is to prepare restaurant quality pizza dough in your home. It couldn't be simpler, and as I always like to say, if I can do it, you can do it. So let's get started on this real simple recipe. The secret to making perfect restaurant quality dough at home is the temperature. The water has to be around 110 degrees Fahrenheit. To that, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar. We're going to mix that up. And then we're going to add our package of active dry yeast. This is the brand I prefer to use. So we just put that in and get a little spoon. So I prefer a deeper measuring cup so that I can cover it with a tea towel and then the foam won't touch the tea towel. So let's let that rest for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we'll check back then. So it's been 10 minutes or so after, and as you can see, the yeast is nice and frothy. So this is the point where we're going to add this to some flour. And the flour I am using is 00. You can use regular flour if you want, but to get exceptional results, use 00. So I already have measured 2 cups. For this recipe, it takes 2 cups of 00 flour. Just dump that in and then make a little well in the middle. And I'm going to give the yeast water a little stir. And I'm only going to pour about half of it. And then we're going to give it about 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. And I always prefer to use this spatula here. It's pretty non-stick. And just keep on mixing and mixing. And if you see the flour is still pretty dry like it is now, you can add some more of the liquid. But for now, I just want to work this for a few minutes, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. So let's add a bit more water to this mixture and mix it up. Try and incorporate the dough with the water. Get some oxygen into that dough. This will help it rise nice and high. So I'm going to keep on working this dough without adding any more water for now. And because there's nothing worse than a wet pizza dough. And you end up having to add more flour and it just doesn't work. So let me work this dough a bit more and then we'll be right back again. So now I'm going to work the dough with my hands now. It was sticking a little bit, and if you find it is as well for you, just grab a little bit of that 00 flour, give it a light dusting and flip it over, and now you can see it isn't sticking hardly at all. So you just fold it over and keep on working for a good 5 minutes if you can. And then once that's done, we're going to coat the bowl with some of the olive oil, and I'm going to put it in my oven to rise, and I have the oven light on, and just the heat generated by the oven light, believe it or not, is going to help it rise quite well. And that's the method that I use, and it worked out well for me. So I'm going to work this dough just a little bit more, and then we're going to put it in the oven to rise. So the dough is exactly how I want it to look. It's not sticky anymore. It's just perfect. And I just want to show you there is a bit of liquid left in my measuring cup, and so out of 1 cup of water, that's all that's left. So it's, yeah, that's why I don't pour it all in. So now slowly I pour some olive oil all around the edges, swish the dough all around, and this will stop the dough from sticking to the sides of your bowl. So what I like to do is just put some plastic wrap on the top, because if you just put a tea towel alone, there's a very good chance it's going to stick to your tea towel. So that's it. So now I'm going to pop it in the oven to rise. The oven light is on, and we're going to let it rise for at least 30 to 60 minutes. So the dough has been rising for 1 hour, and it's more than doubled in size. So I'm just going to get my trusty non-stick spatula. Look at that, didn't stick to the sides at all. And we're going to give this, oh, look at that, beautiful, beautiful dough. And it smells nice and yeasty, if that's a good word. And just keep on rolling it over, and then let's do it for a few minutes, and then we're going to pop this back into the oven covered with the plastic wrap, and we're going to give it at least another 30 to 60 minutes, only because I have the time today. Otherwise, this one rising, that would have been enough. So let's just roll that into a nice ball, cover it up, and back in the oven to rise. So I just took the pizza dough out of the oven, and it is really nicely risen, and it's dropping a bit because I took it out of the oven. So just remove it from the sides, and what I am going to do is get a bit of flour, spread it on my rolling sheet. I'm going to roll it out a little bit. I'm going to use the whole piece of dough because I want my pizza to be nice and thick. So let's roll it out, and all the pizza puritans are probably going to say, no, you don't use a rolling pin. Well, you know what? I do. And my pizza pan is 12.5 inches large, and I've already oiled it a bit, and you can see a little glistening there. And we're going to put that off to the side, and let's roll this out just a little bit more. Whoop. The pizza dough smells amazing, and it's not even cooked yet. So let's see. Put the pan here. Good. So the next step, what I want to do is I got a half cup of cornmeal, and cornmeal will stop the dough from sticking any further on the bottom of my pizza pan. There we go. I'm going to stretch that out a wee bit. They're going to have a bit left over. That's fine. And what we want to do is get this onto this. And what I do is I reuse the bowl that I let the dough rise into and flop. The reason I do that is now it's elevated. Now I have full access to the pizza dough. And let's begin by stretching and see. So you can rotate the pizza pie all around. We're going to make a nice edge. And this doesn't have to be perfect, just, do whatever, be artistic. And for me, this is what works. So now if you want to peek, see underneath the cornmeal, it's making it non-stick, which is going to be really great. Now we move on to building our pizza. So to start with, we're going to lay down a good layer of pizza sauce. And here's the brand I really, really like, because once you open it, it lasts for months. Trust me, many, many months. Whereas, if you buy a can of pizza sauce, you got to use the whole thing. And so let's just shoot a good load on there like so, and then get our big spoon, and I like to go right to the edges, almost touching the crust. Now we don't want to overload it with sauce, or your toppings are just going to slide right off. So using this method, we should be okay. So we're going to trap a little bit of sauce in the corners. It's going to be fabulous. Fabulous. I'm happy with that. So here's the brand I'm going to be using today. It's a mozzarella pizza blend from Great Value, which is Walmart. And I just had it in my freezer for the last half hour because the cheese was really, really soft. And I don't know, it just makes it harder to grab and to spread out. So you might want to keep that in mind, especially during the summer months. I don't know why my fridge isn't keeping it extra firm. But anyway, little trick you want to keep in mind. And if you're a cheese lover, like I am a cheese lover, then you want to use at least a cup, maybe 2 cups. And you know what? There is no golden rule saying, hey, you can't use cheddar or you can't use any other cheese. You go right ahead. Break the rules. Use whatever cheese that you like. So step 2, I'm going to top it up with a couple of cups of beautiful white mushrooms. And I love mushrooms. They're good for you. They're very healthy. So let's just load it up like so and like so. Whoop. I'm good with that. My next step is to put on the pepperoni. If you have access to this brand, it is phenomenal. And the reason why, like the fat content, everything of this brand is excellent. But if you can't get it, I still recommend buying pre-sliced pepperoni because it's just like micro thin. Can you see how thin that is? Like that's what you want. And if you can slice that by hand with a knife, then good for you. But I prefer this brand, and I like the thickness of the meat. So I'm just going to go around and around and I'll continue doing it. We'll be right back. Okay, so I topped it up with the regular pepperoni, and now I'm going to put a few slices, same company. It's their spicy version, and this is going to give my pizza pie such a wonderful kick. It's not even funny. So I'm just going to place them randomly here and there because that's how I like how I like to do it. So I'll spread them out. And again, if you have access, you have this at your grocery store, highly recommend it. And it's excellent quality. So that's that. And now I'm just waiting for my oven to warm up to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. And we'll pop it in there. It'll probably be 15, 20, 25 minutes until I determine it's cooked enough for me. So the pizza is done, and it's sitting on my pizza peel on my stove to cool off for about 5 minutes or so, and it is looking glorious. Like, I know by the touch of the dough here on the corner, it is going to be fabulous. So let's let this thing continue cooling, and we'll be back in a minute. Let's slice into this pizza that has been resting for 5 minutes, and let me see. Look at that. No sticking. Very little sticking. Yahoo! Let's plate this and get to the kitchen table. Okay, my friends, the pizza is ready to be eaten, and I hope the camera is capturing how well the dough is cooked right through. It's like cooked to perfection. And for all the pizza heads out there, you got to try this recipe. Super simple, super easy, and delicious. I am in pizza heaven right now. So try this sometime soon, and have a great weekend. Have a great evening, and thank you for dropping by my channel. Give me a thumbs up, would be appreciated. Until the next one, have yourself a great evening. Once again, take care. Bye now.